challenge the National Party government.
So what does play along mean?
I beg your pardon?
What do you mean by played along?
Well, like going with the flow and not trying to make statements that would make the National Party government look at him as an enemy. And I think, so yeah, that's what I mean, that the National Party government never saw him as an enemy, as someone that needed to be dealt with, because he understood the kind of power that the National Party government had. And if he did upset them, I think he understood that they would have tried to undermine his authority somehow.
Yeah.
And of course, as an ally of Chief Buthelezi back then, he also understood that there was no need on his part to be seen to be criticizing the National Party government.
Would you then say, was it because he wouldn't want to upset that relationship that the IFP may have built with the National Party? Because you think about the reports into the training that was offered to members of the IFP, and I was saying to the team that I doubt that the king didn't know about that. I struggle with that particular idea. So would the king then have said that because of this relationship that the IFP may have with the National Party, therefore I don't want to upset that relationship?
Oh, definitely. I mean, his close proximity to the Chief Buthelezi, I think he understood the role that he had to play. And I must also point out that, Chief Buthelezi, I've spoken with him a number of times, and he's someone who's very bitter in terms of how people perceive him, the role that he played prior to 1994. That he understood the power that the National Party government had, and he did not want to directly upset them. And I think the king also, as I pointed out, he understood that the National Party government had enormous power, that if they wanted to, they could easily destroy or undermine his authority. And so he did not want to have his benefits taken away, because the National Party gave him space to be the king of the Zulus. So he figured that he shouldn't do or say anything that would make the National Party take the privileges away from him.
Okay. And then just a final one then. There were reports also that at some point he thought of starting his own political party. Was that ever? Have you ever heard of that?
I've heard those rumors before. I don't know how true they are. And I seriously doubt that he would have wanted to do something like that. And obviously it would not have been a smart move. Since we're discussing these matters, I just thought that I should say this, and that is the Zulu king is the custodian of the Zulu culture. I think he could have done a lot more to empower his people, his nation, in terms of intervening in matters of culture. Like, for example, Lobola. I mean, if you look at many people today, they are not getting married because, it's become expensive, it's become business, this Lobola thing. And I think that the king could have intervened in those matters and tried to bring some kind of sanity and try to get people to, get married and not have children out of wedlock. But I wouldn't blame the king for that. I would blame the people who surrounded him. That they could have made them, and particularly the institution of traditional leadership, more relevant and make it more of something that empowers and helps the traditional cultures to, progress and adapt to realities of today. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. No, thank you, man. I really appreciate your time. Zakhele Ndlovu, the political science lecturer at UKZN. Let's just quickly take a break.
Notolo Makashalala was born in 1977, passed away in March 2021. She was famously known for her role as Viwe in the SABC1 drama series Cha-Cha. Back in 2003, Notolo had starring roles in Generations, Gauteng Maboneng, and others. SAFM sends its deepest condolences to the Makashalala family. May her soul rest in eternal peace. Hashtag SAFMBTH.
Okay, let's just quickly dip into this live feed where Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi is addressing me and members of the media ahead of Ukutshala Kwesilo.
From this point on, as per his Majesty's wishes, his mortal remains will be interred in a private burial tomorrow night. This is on Wednesday night. I know there is confusion about this. Western Zulu will say Zulu, that covers even the early hours of the morning, as long as people are not out of their beds. So that confusion is caused by that. This will be done by a small number of men close to the king, fulfilling all tradition. The burial will not be attended or broadcast by any media. The public ceremony honoring His Majesty will take place on Thursday morning. This is being arranged together with the government as His Excellency President Ramaphosa kindly agreed to transform the special official Category 1 funeral into a memorial prayer service. This memorial service will be broadcast live across the nation so that mourners might have the opportunity to participate, albeit from a distance. This is unfortunately necessitated by the national regulations which are in place to prevent the spread of COVID-19. I mean, as you can see from the number of people that are coming here, even at the level of government, I don't know how many governments, delegations we've had. I'm sure you've seen for yourself, even the Deputy President was here this afternoon, and Minister Tikiza. And yet earlier today, we had another government, I'm sure delegation too, or ANC delegation if you like, where the Secretary General was here, together with our former Premier. This pandemic has already wreaked havoc, as all of you are aware, in our nation. Absolute havoc. We must therefore do our utmost to protect one another. Which would not only be illegal, but indeed unconscionable to allow a large gathering in this time. It is of course extraordinary to bury a king in this manner, in the absence of thousands of mourners. And I know that there are many subjects of the king who are not happy. I remember at one meeting that someone was using expression COVID or no COVID, implying that, the grief is such that they sort of ignore even the protocols of COVID. I'm pleased to announce that I've already been in touch with our government with regard to some individuals. As you have seen in the press this morning, who have indicated that they plan to break lockdown